Hello everybody! So today we're doing a book tag for the first video of 2018. So we are going to be doing the TMI book tag, and I'm so excited because this is one of my favorite book tags to watch. Even though it's a little bit older, still really enjoy it. So yeah. The first question is, which fictional character has the best fashion sense? The fictional character that I think has the best fashion sense, and this is just my opinion because I like this kind of fashion, is America Singer from the Selection series. Now, I love high fashion, like frilly dresses, and if I could wear a princess gown every single day of my life and little kitten heels and have my hair done and just have these gorgeous ball gowns, I would do that. And I just love the way Kira describes the dresses. She also has a Pinterest board with some like dresses she was inspired by for each of the books, and I really enjoyed that, to look at that. And so yeah, I think America has great fashion sense because, I mean, she's a selected, but she is a princess in training and she gets to wear ball gowns all day long. Number 2 is your book boyfriend. Now this one was really hard because I have so many book boyfriends, like Will Herondale and Julian Blackthorne and Noah Shaw. But the one I chose for this tag would be Liam Stewart from the Darkest Mind series. And I love this boy so much. He calls her darling, and he is so sweet, and he's just so... Oh, I love him. He's such a leader, and he's such a caring, like, rock, and I love how he is with Ruby. So yeah, Liam, you're my book boyfriend. If anyone sees him, tell him to hit me up because I think he'd like me. Number 3 is the biggest or the longest book on your shelf, and that would be Hamilton, A Revolution. This thing is giant, not only because of the pages, but like it is a big book, and it's just so cool. Like, there's the musical, and I love this, and I love Hamilton, and I have a Hamilton book tag if you want to see that one. I'll put it in the iCard somewhere, but I loved like looking through this and just seeing all the different like things and little notes from Lin-Manuel. This is the biggest book on my shelf. Number 4, a fictional character that you loved but then in time hated. And I don't have many of those, to be completely honest. I usually have a pretty good gauge on if like I like you or not. But for this series, it's a big series, and that would be Stevie Ray, which is her on the cover, from the House of Night books. I love these books. I think they're really interesting and fun to read. But Stevie was the sweet southern girl, and she was just so sweet, and then something happens and she just like turns evil, and I was like, and then she's never the same, and she's a brat, and it made me so angry that you would do that. Like, no, like, be sweet and southern and your cute little self, Stevie, not this crazy psychotic person vampire thing. Number 5 is the heaviest book on your shelf, and I think that is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I have a bunch of Cassandra Clare books right here, but I think this one's the heaviest. I mean, they're all pretty heavy. I can't choose one, but yeah, any of my Cassandra Clare books pretty much are the heaviest on my shelf. Number 6, do you have any book posters? And I do. I have a Breaking Dawn poster from the Eclipse book jacket, which is really cool because it has like a quote down there, and I like it a lot. And it was so, when I had this, when Eclipse was like the only thing out and Breaking Dawn was coming out, this was the most exciting thing of my life. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a book poster, but I didn't like want to take it off my Eclipse book because I wanted the jacket to be nice. And yeah, that was the best thing in my life. Preteen Allie was like,
I got this Breaking Dawn poster, and like, Edward and Jacob is just so hard to choose. really. I was always Team Edward.
Number 7 is, do you have any book themed jewelry? Which I do. I have, which my chain just broke for this the other day. I have a Deathly Hallows necklace, which I love, and I always get compliments when I wear this from like other book readers who love Harry Potter. Always get compliments on that. And then this is kind of like a backstory. So I have these one earring. It's a heart. It's like a crystal heart. So the backstory to this is me, my mom, her best friend, and I think one of their other friends went to the midnight release of Breaking Dawn. They had a big thing at our Barnes & Noble, which was really exciting. We were the first ones to get books, and I was like, yes, 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 yes. So we were the very first in line, the very first copies, and I dressed up in like a red outfit because they had like a costume contest, and it was like a red like outfit, and I don't really know what I was supposed to be, but it was like I won the costume contest, which awarded me this really cool Breaking Dawn t-shirt, super big still, and it says it'll take your breath away. I still have that. I wear it all the time still. But at dinner we went to Olive Garden because they had Italian in the first Twilight, so we had Italian food, and a waiter came by, and they obviously did this before, but a waiter came by and gave me this box, and I was like, the heck? And I was like so embarrassed because I was like in my middle school, and this like cute guy is coming to bring me a box, and in there it had these earrings, and I used to have both of them, but I only have one now because the other one broke, and it said inside like, never, like, as long as you have these you'll have my heart because it's frozen, or some like cheesy thing, and it said EC for Edward Cullen. And my mom's best friend Stephanie made these, and I wore these every single day in middle school all the time, and I cried when one of them broke, and so I keep this very special to me. This is kind of like not book jewelry, but it is book jewelry to me because of the meaning behind it, and they're really pretty. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little tidbit of Twilight fandom because Allie was hardcore into the Twilight fandom. I mean, I still love all those books and movies, so sorry. The next question is your book OTP. I have so many, and I had a hard time choosing, but right now the one that I'm super obsessed with is Emma and Julian from the Dark Artifices. I love them. I always love a good like growing up and like falling in love story. Like, they are good, and I love Emma so much that it's just like, and I love Julian. And yeah, they're definitely right now my like obsession. Number 9 is my favorite book series, and I actually don't have the books on my shelf because they're in my brother's room, because they're like our original copies, and he keeps them in his room. He's sleeping, so because I film the wee hours of night because I'm a vampire and I don't sleep. One of my favorite series of all time is the Harry Potter series. It's so special to me just because I grew up with that series, and I know everyone says this, but it really is special to me, and I loved it. And you know, going to see the movies, and still I cried when I went and saw the Harry Potter Orlando opening, and I cried when I saw the California one, even though I knew what it was gonna look like. I just love that series so much, and it has such special meaning to me, and I've loved good quotes on my wall, and yeah, I love Harry Potter. Number 10 is your favorite book to movie adaptation soundtrack, and that would be The Great Gatsby. I recently just rewatched this, but I love the book. I love this adaptation of the movie. It was so good. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, I love Tobey Maguire. And the music was just so cinematic to me, and it was so good. I still listen to it to this day. But yeah, I would have to say this one just because, I don't know, I love the 20s. And I loved how they mixed new age with old, like the olden style, kind of mixed it together to make that like jazz and like 20s vibe. So I think this one did a really good job, but there's so many other ones that I love and are iconic, but this is the one at the moment that I'm obsessed with. Number 11 is a book or a series you wish you had more of. We were supposed to have more of you. We were supposed to have a book called The Seeker. And it's never come. And this is one of my favorite, like, books. This is actually my favorite Stephenie Meyer's novel. I love the Twilight series, don't get me wrong, but I love The Host. I love The Host movie too, even though it's different and people were kind of mad at it. But still, I loved it. And I love this book. It will always be one of my favorite books. It takes a little while to get into, so if you have tried to get into it, try it again and just push past that first part because it gets so good. And I love Wanda. I love Melanie. And it's just so good. And I want more of them. And I want to know what happens in the world. And why did you not give it to us, Stephenie Meyer? That's like taking away Midnight Sun. Looking at you. I'm angry with you. You live in Arizona? Just hit me up and tell me why we never got this. You wrote The Chemist? I didn't want The Chemist. I wanted Seeker. The Seeker. Not. I'm just gonna go cry now. Number 12 is your favorite standalone book. And that would be Looking for Alaska. I have a special place in my heart for this book. I read it at a time that it really, really hit home for me. And I think it's just such a great novel. And it's my favorite John Green novel. It's one of my favorite books. And I think this standalone was just so good. Just so good. And I love it so much. I have 2 copies of this book. That's how much I love this book. It's just so good. And this one's so pretty. It's all red with the smoke. Yeah. And I love Alaska. I really love Alaska. I love all the characters in this, and I think Miles is just a great like narrator and so good. If you have not read Looking for Alaska, this is probably my favorite, and then The Fault in Our Stars, but they fall really close together, and I want that movie deal, but someone owns the rights to it, so we're never gonna get it for a long while, and unless they decide that they want to make it. And angry. I just want Looking for Alaska. Number 13 is when did you start reading? And for me, I started reading as soon as I could read. Even before then, I loved stories, so my mom would read to me every night, and I loved stories. I loved making stories, and it's always been a passion of storytelling. So as soon as I could read, I was reading, and you could not pull me away from a book, even if you tried. Number 14 is your Hogwarts house, and I personally am a Slytherin. And I love being a Slytherin because every time I say that, everyone's like, and I'm like, hey. Yes, but I love being a Slytherin. I think it's really cool that I share a house with Draco Malfoy. Hey boy. But yeah, I think it really suits me. I always knew before I took the Pottermore test that I was a Slytherin, just because like they're ambitious, they're cunning, like it just fits the mold. And I want to be evil though. Like I'd be like, hey Harry, I'll help you. It's cool. We'll work on the same team. I don't want to go work for Voldemort. Like no, thank you. Number 15 is a quality you look for in a book. And for me, the quality I really look for in a book is a book that I can fall into. I just want a really good story. I mean, yeah, you gotta have good writing skills to create that story, but if you engage me in a story and a plot that I'm so invested in, and the characters, I'm so invested in these characters' lives, you've sold me. I love stories. Like, I want to just devour them, and that's the same way I am with my TV shows. I just want to fall into a story and I don't want to come out, and I want to be in that world for the hour I'm reading or the 2 hours I'm watching. So that's my big thing, is I want to just like right into the story. Number 16 is your favorite quote, and my favorite quote comes from the Tessa Gray in Clockwork Angel when she says, "One must always be careful of books and what is inside them, For words have the power to change us, which I really think is true because I think I've changed for the better because I read books and I have a sign over this. There says, a well-read woman is a dangerous creature, and I think that's very true. So the more you read, the more your imagination grows and it changes you inside and you realize things about the world, and I think that's a really good trait to have. Number 17 is your favorite author, and literally don't make me choose one. There's so many that I love. Stephanie Meyers, Cassandra Clare, Marissa Myers, Victoria Aveyard, Kira Cass, just so many. I love their stories. So yeah, I'm not gonna choose just one because they are all wonderful people and they write wonderful books. Number 18 is your favorite book cover, and at the moment it is Heartless. I love this book cover, and then you take it off. Do you see this? How gorgeous this is. Oh, I can't even get over it. I just got this. My mom just bought it for me for Christmas, and I love it so much. I have not read it yet, but it is so pretty, and anything to do with like the Red Queen or Alice in Wonderland, obviously my channel name, but anything to do with that and Wonderland, I'm all for. And this is a retelling of the Red Queen, right? Yeah, I think it's like a retelling of the Red Queen in Wonderland, and I'm very excited to get there. Very excited to get to this, but yeah, it's just so pretty. Number 19 is action or romance. Both. I like a little bit of mix of both. I want a little bit of action and I want some romance sprinkled in there. Or like, what else? Like, what are you pulling for? Like, I want a couple to pull for, but I want that action that's like, they're kick-ass and yeah. So both. 20 is, where is it that you go when you're sad? There's a sad moment in a book. Where do you go? I pretty much just like lay out wherever I am, like in my bed or on the middle of my floor, and I just like lay there because my heart hurts and I just can't take it. And yeah, so I just like lay there and like contemplate my life, and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? But then I like get up maybe an hour later, maybe longer. It depends on how sad the moment was. 21 is, how long does it take for you to finish a book? And for me, it really depends on what's going on in life, if I'm working a lot or if I'm doing other things, and how long the book is. Usually it takes me about 1 to 2 days to finish a book I'm really engaged in. And then if I'm not engaged in the book and I'm just like kind of pulled out, it usually takes me a week to 2 to 3 to 4, just depending on how determined I am to get through the book. But yeah, it really depends. I'm feeling 22, because that's what question we're on. How long is your mourning period? I've had a lot of long mourning periods going on like 2 to 3 months. And I hate to say that, but I have. But I try not to get into those, and I try to get right into other stuff. But yeah, my longest one has been 2 to 3 months, and my shortest one has been like a week. So it really depends on how sad I am about a book. Number 23 is your least favorite book. I hate this because I don't ever want to be like, I hate a book or anything like that. It just wasn't for me because I hate bashing on other people's writing. I feel like it's very unkind and rude, but I know books are meant for different people, and so yeah, I don't like some books, and I will talk about my feelings about that. And one book that I did not like was The 100 Lies of Lizzie Lovett. The narrator of this is so annoying, and she's just so obsessive of Lizzie Lovett, and she does things that are so frustrating, and I literally read this as fast as I could because I wanted to get it over with, but I did not want to read it because I was so annoyed with the main character and how she was acting like a child, and you're 18. Like, pull yourself together. even hold, like, this makes me so mad, and I'm so upset because look at the cover. It's like yellow, it has a daisy on it, and it's so pretty, and the like, it's a white book, just like straight up white book. And so disappointing. So disappointing. Number 24 is a turn on for a character. For me, that would probably be their ambition, or like their drive, like what's motivating them to like go through the story, and like their selflessness, and just like if they are like a caring, non-asshole person, and I pretty much like you. And number 25 is a turn off. Being rude and an asshole and just like nasty. Like, why are you being like this? And if you're not a villain, like if they're not a villain and they're just being nasty, drives me insane. Number 26 is why did I start booktube? I personally started booktube because I love books and I love talking about books, and I'm writing a book and I want to talk about my journey, and I want to talk about the books I'm reading and how much I love them, because let's be honest, who doesn't like to talk about the things that they love the most? I do. So that's why I started, because I love them and I want to engage with you, and it's fun to talk with other people who love the same things as you. So yeah. Number 27 is name a scary book. The Mara Dyer trilogy. Terrifying. This first one, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, is scary because you don't know if she's killing someone or if she's crazy or what, and it messes with your head. And I literally like sat there for like 20 minutes after I was done with this first book, and I was like, am I seeing things? Am I crazy? Like, what how, and you don't know what's wrong with her. And yeah, this was terrifying, and I finished it at like 3 a.m. one day in Florida when my roommate was not home. Let's just say I did not sleep that night. Luckily, I didn't work the next morning. Number 28 is the last book that made you cry, which I am not like a crier during books. I don't cry. I get really upset and I like sit there and I'm just like silent, and like that's not me, because in like movies I'll cry. Maybe it's just because I'm reading it and I'm taking it in differently, but I don't cry during books. But the last book that made me sob uncontrollably, so upset, I was devastated, was The Fault in Our Stars, and I think everyone can agree with that. I was so upset with this book and I was heartbroken. It's a touchy subject for me, but I read this when the movie was coming out, and then I reread it last year and I cried the same amount of tears, even though I knew what was going to happen because I've seen the movie a million times and I read the book before, but still sobbed uncontrollably. Thank you, John Green. Number 29 is the last book you gave a 5-star review. Now, to give a 5-star review from me is very hard, and I usually give 4 stars. You have to like blow me out of the water to get a 5-star, but this one did at the very beginning of the year, and it was Gemina by Amy Kaufner and Jay Kristoff. I love these books, and I gave Illuminae a 5-star too because I love these books. They're written in such a way that's so cool and cryptic, and you don't see stuff coming until it's there because it's cryptic and like written in code and like IMs. They're such a cool concept, and I love them so much, and I can't wait till the 3rd one comes out, which I don't know when that comes out. I should look that up, but I can't wait. I read Illuminae last January, and then I read this one. Well, I read Illuminae in 2016, read Gemina in 2017, and now I'm waiting for the 3rd one in 2018 because it's January 1st. Number 30 is your favorite book title. I have 3 because they all go together. The Darkest Minds, Never Fade, In the Afterlight. I just think it's so cool they made a sentence, and I thought that was so clever and like interesting, and I loved it. And yeah, those are my favorite titles. Number 31 is the last book you read, and that would be The Elite by Kira Cass. This was a reread for me, a book talk, or a reread book talk will be coming soon. I just have to get all my notes together, but yeah, The Elite. I loved it the second time around. I had all the feels, and you'll see it in the book talk. Don't worry. Come back, you'll see it. Number 32 is the book that you're currently reading. Technically, I'm reading 2. I'm reading the one for a reread right now, and then I'm also reading Glass Sword, which I love this. I love this series. I know it's very controversial, and not a lot of people like it, but I love the Red Queen series, and I'm really getting into it, and it's so good. It's so good. I just love it, and I love like anything to do with like ruling and like a monarchy, and so good. Red Queen was so good. Number 33 is the last book to movie adaptation you watched, and literally like yesterday and today I watched all the Hunger Games. I was on this kick that I wanted to watch the Hunger Games, so I watched them all because I own them all, and yeah, and they were so good. So good. The acting, the costuming, the sets. Oh, I love them so much. Oh, that's one of my favorite book to movie adaptations series. Yes. Yes. I get so passionate about them. I just love Katniss and Peeta and that story. And yeah, that's the last one I watched within like 24 hours. Number 34 is the book character you've always wanted to talk to, and that would be Alice Cullen from the Twilight series. Like, me and Alice would get along really well because we're both like spunky, and she loves fashion and I love fashion, and I don't know, I feel like we'd be best friends, and I want to be best friends with Alice. I mean, who doesn't want to be best friends with Alice? I love her so much, and I just want to have a conversation with her and go shopping. Number 35 is an author you've always wanted to talk to. Now, this is kind of like hard because there's certain ones that I've always wanted to talk to, like Stephanie Meyers and J.K. Rowling, because they've like molded me, and Cassie Clare. But one that I've already met and I really want to have an in-depth conversation with, like everything, would be Kira Cass. She is the nicest human being on the planet Earth. I love her so much. I've been watching her for years and years and years, but I love her. And I just want to talk about the book writing process and how she got queried and editing, and just I have so many questions for her because I look up to her so much. So, Kira Cass, I want to talk to you. Let's have cake and hot chocolate, because I know you don't drink coffee, so like cake and hot chocolate. Let's go. Number 36 is your favorite reading snack. Now, I don't usually eat when I read because I'm a messy eater, but if I'm going to eat something, it's probably going to be popcorn, because I love popcorn. I will eat popcorn 100 times a day. Number 37 is, what book world would you want to live in? And I think this is everyone's answer, but Hogwarts. I want to live in Harry Potter land and go to Hogwarts, and I want to have a wand, and I want to be in Slytherin and live in the dungeons, and I just want my letter. Where's my letter? I want to go to Hogwarts. On the flip side of that, number 38 is, what book world you wouldn't want to live in. There's a lot, particularly like Divergent, The Hunger Games. Don't really want to live in the Maze Runner series because I hate those books and I don't think that would be fun. Yeah, let's just go with The Hunger Games. I don't want to live there. No, don't want to fight to the death, because my luck is I would trip off the cornucopia and either get blown up or killed right on the spot. So yeah, I would not survive The Hunger Games. Let's just say that. 39 is, when was the last time you smelled a book? every single day. I just come over here and I'm like, you get a smell, and you get a smell, and you get a smell. No, I'm just kidding. I don't smell my books on a daily basis, but if it's like an old book, like a leather-bound book, I will smell that because it's just so good. The leather is so good. I have a problem. Number 40 is a weird insult that you've read in a book. The most recent one was by Miss America Singer, and she said, "At least you learned how to pose," to Celeste. And I thought that was kind of a weird insult, and I mean, thank you. Number 41 is your favorite romance book, and that would be To All the Boys I Loved Before. I think this is just such a sweet book, and I just love the cute little romance we got in here. And oh, I need to read the third one in this series because it's just so good, and I can't wait, and I love it, and it's just so sweet, and it's a great morning period book. If you are in morning period, pick these up. Number 42 is Do You Write? I do. I wrote a full novel, and I'm in the process of querying 2 agents to get it signed on to an agent, and that's a whole nother video, and it's been very stressful and very let's just leave it at that. Number 43 is your favorite magical item, and obviously I'm gonna pick a wand to go to Ollivander's and get my wand and do swish and flick, and it's Leviosa, not Leviosa. I just want to do spells and live at Hogwarts and not have to worry about adult problems. So number 44 would be, what is your Quidditch position? So I think because I'm like short and small and like I feel like that would make you fast. I feel like that's like a good fit to be a seeker. So I would be a seeker, and I think I would be pretty good at it because I'm really good at catching things and like finding things, and I have really good like situational awareness, so I'd be able to find the snitch. I even have a snitch right here next to Mr. Harry Potter. So yeah, I would be a seeker. 45 is what song do you associate with a novel? And for me, it is Supermassive Black Hole from the first Twilight movie. Every time I hear it, it's either in the store or anything, I'm like, the baseball scene, Twilight, like, it just brings back all the feels, and I just love that song, and every time I hear it, it's the one I think about, and then every time I read the baseball scene in Twilight, it's in my head forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And number 46 is your favorite book chat-up line, and are you Draco Malfoy? Because I'd like to slither in your bed. And then number 47 is, have you ever used that line? No, I wouldn't dream of using that line. I don't speak to boys. I don't talk to them. I keep to myself. That's what boyfriends are for. Because hashtag awkward child in every situation. And if I even tried to like utter that, they'd be like, "Are you good, girl? Like, no, okay, bye." Number 48 is your favorite book fandom, and that would have to be Harry Potter, just because I feel like that's the one I've been in for the longest time, and I love the community, and I love anytime anyone sees something they like they're like, "Oh my gosh, I love your shirt," or "I love your necklace," and it's like a chat, like you can start up a conversation about it. And so yeah, and I mean, we have like an amusement park, and so much. And then 49 is the last question, and the question is, how many books do you own? Too many to count. It's an actual addiction, just continuing to buy books, and then they sit on your shelf until the day you die because you haven't read them all. Is there like an AA meeting for book buyers? I need a Book Buyers Anonymous, please, because that's where every penny goes. That's all I got for Christmas was book, like, gift cards to buy books. I have so much money to buy books, and I don't know what books to buy because I have too many, and I need Book Buyers Anonymous. So there you go. That is the TMI bookish tag. I hope you liked it, and if you did, be sure to give that big thumbs up. Follow me on all my social media. All of that is linked down below, and you can just search me or click the link to find me. So I hope you do that because I'd love to connect. Down below, write some of your favorite series or some of the best, like your favorite questions from in here, and answer them so I can interact with you and talk with you, and yeah, it'll be super fun. And yeah, until next time, bye loves.